How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? So we're here today with Usopp rap Bullseye. Bullseye by Rustage. Now, this is an odd one because this is just Rustage by himself. This is just Rustage by himself. Usually it's like Rustage featuring X, Y, and Z. But this one is just Rustage. So I'm like, okay, good. 2 minutes and 44 of just Rustage with Usopp. Me like it. Me like it. Me like it a lot. Now, One Piece obviously have recently had its 1000th chapter, which was a glorious chapter, IMO. And so having Usopp rap here, I know it's not necessarily Luffy, but having Usopp rap here is like the perfect time. The perfect time. Now, this one came out, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago, so not 100% sure. But I'll still say what I always say, which is that I please want you to check out the original one. I'll have it linked in the description down below so you guys can click on it and watch Rustage's video before you come here and watch my reaction. Besides that though, I would say let us hop right in. I've got a little bit of a cold, so you probably already noticed it, but yeah, don't let that stop us. Let us get started with Usopp rap Bullseye. One Piece. Oh, someone's going to hammer that Piccolo. Woo! Wait a second. Ah. Okay. That's a dope hook. That's a weird effect. That's a weird effect. I'm talking about the video itself, the AMV itself. It's almost like you can see it here. It's almost like it's 60 FPS, not 60 FPS. It's almost like it's interlaced right here. You know, with the effect where it's like some frames, some lines are skipping. It's almost like it's I forgot the term now. There's this very specific term. I used to use Sony Vegas all the time, and it had that very specific function where it's like you could have it 59 FPS interlocked or 59 FPS aligned, I believe it was. So you can definitely tell the lines in some shots, which is very, very, very odd way to do it. Yeah. I don't know whether that's fragmentation or not, or that's done purposefully. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, this hook is dope. It's ooh. Okay. Hey, that's not much of a bar. That is not much of a bar. That is just that's like damn sadness meme. It's like looking out the window, the sadness meme. Like damn. Damn. You really get this army, come get me out. Out of reception. I'm a legend. Catch him. Ass catch him. Down. Countdown. Okay. Woo! No Jester's looking like I'm the crown clown. Okay. Sending the clowns. Hey, 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 hey. That's a bar. He's aiming straight. Bullseye. He's aiming straight at all of them. Right? He's aiming straight at all the SoundCloud rappers right there with that one line. He's like, all right. It's like, okay, I'm gearing up. Yeah, just hit them all. Okay. Ah. The green. Ah, okay. I like that. There's this evergreen. Nobody can fight it. Slings by my side. It's bullseye strike it. You ain't gonna hide it. Shoot it with the eyes. Rumors till you die. It's bullseye. Brother, know you like it. Nobody can fight it.
Stinger by my side, it's bullseye, strike it. You ain't gonna hide it. Shoot it with the eye, it's moments till you die, it's bullseye. Through every broken bone, I leave a foe in comatose.
Hey.
Dose of gas and smoke and mask, they choke, I own the shows.
Hey.
Stories of my deeds are never overblown.
Okay.
Usopp, I be looking
Like Pinocchio.
the headshots, no red dot, I'm all side. I pause my head like a dead drop. I get up, I'm all right. Goggles strapped, I'm loaded. I be hitting shots like Hawkeye. Man, I hate the government, blow them up like that Fox guy.
Oh, okay. Even Guy Fawkes references in here. My goodness. I mean, we go from Pinocchio to friggin' Fawkes. Guy Fawkes. Okay. That, I mean, that really doesn't need to be explained. Usopp, I'll be looking like Pinocchio. Usopp, his name is made up from the word Uso, which means lie. There is a very famous tale as well about Lysip, I believe. Lysip the liar. That's kind of where like his name comes from. You know, Usopp, Lysip, and obviously then Pinocchio, who's famous for, you know, I can never tell a lie. I'll always tell the truth. If I lie, my nose grows. I will not lie now. Is that a lie? Is that the truth? Yeah. You know, we all know who Pinocchio is. When you wish upon a star.
The headshots, no red dot, I'm all side. I pause my head like a dead drop. I get up, I'm all right. Strapped, I'm loaded. I'll be hitting shots like Hawkeye. I hate the government, blow them up like that.
I think most people know who Guy Fawkes is. Basically, try to blow up the government. Try to blow up Parliament, I should say. And, well, let's just say, not happy ending. Let's just say, when you plan to do a plan like that, alright, you best off not telling anyone. You best off making sure that they can't torture you. That they can't torture you once you're caught. Like, make sure to have a contingency plan. Oh, they're close to catching me. Alright. Like, make sure that you can end yourself. Like, you're in a position to end yourself before they can catch you and torture you, fam. But remember the 5th of November with gunpowder, treason, and plot. That's all I'm gonna say, fam.
Guy, who's the land got that fairy fame? See how I light him up with green like it's Mary Jane. Me and Mary
okay.
Cause we bear the pain.
Aye.
Soga King boy, yeah, we ain't the same. Renaissance, a fable, no Aesop, migration.
Aesop, that's the name. Aesop, not Lysip. Aesop. I couldn't remember the name at all. The Greek, right? The Greek legend.
Soga King boy, yeah, we ain't the same. Pirate Renaissance, a fable, no Aesop. My great shots will shoot through the space and hit Pluto. I don't mean to play God, my eyes got
okay.
Like Bond. I declaw these kittens, I'll treat them like Kuro.
Okay.
Bullseye, strike it. You ain't gonna hide it. Shoot it with the eye. It's moments till you die. It's bullseye. Snipe it, brother, know you like it. Nobody can fight it. Slingshot by my side. It's bullseye, strike it. You ain't gonna hide it. Shoot it with the eye. It's moments till you die. It's bullseye. Snipe it, brother, know you like it. Nobody can fight it. Slingshot by my side. It's bullseye, strike it. You ain't gonna hide it. Shoot it with the eye. It's moments till you die. It's bullseye.
This one was dope. Absolutely 100% dope. I very much like this one. Usopp, funny thing, right? It's talking about Usopp. Let's quickly talk about Usopp. I've been reading One Piece since I was like 6, alright? I've been up to date with One Piece since I was like 11, alright? I'm 24 now, so I've been about 13, 14 years I've been up to date with One Piece, with the manga, alright? I used to hate Usopp with a passion on like my first 20, 30 watches. On like my first 20, 30 watches, I used to hate him. And then like reactions happen and like 2017, 2018, like the reaction trend happened where people were like, oh, let me react to all of One Piece. And like once I saw other people like Usopp, I was like, am I justified in my hate? Like, I didn't hate him for any particular reason. I just hated him because I felt like, man, this guy... Granted, the anime makes it a lot worse than the manga. But in the manga, you know, he's not as cowardly later on. In the anime, he still is. And I was always like, this guy is just brutal. Like, no... His whole story, his whole goal is character development. You know, I want to be like... I want to be a brave warrior of the seas. It's all about character development. I feel like his character development was always very stagnant. Until you actually look at it in inside a vacuum, and you actually look at One Piece more inside a vacuum, and that's probably why like I started to appreciate, not just with the you know, people reacting to One Piece, but also with me getting older, because I realized, wait a second, One Piece is not doing its the typical character development, which is that like a significant, granted it does for Luffy, right? Well, let's not take away, I won't mention what exact moment in case you haven't seen One Piece, but it does for Luffy, where like specific moments shape his character halfway through the series. All right, that they force him to grow. But like with the other rest of the cast and Usopp specifically, it wasn't so much a case of like his character having that moment, and we still might get that moment with Elbaf, who knows, but it wasn't so much that, it was more so just a gradual, but also a, you know, a slow but gradual progression of his character to the person that ultimately he'll be at the end of this series. And I started to appreciate that a lot more, because like I look at like other shows that I love, Berserk for example, you know, there is a moment that changes the character, but with One Piece, that besides with Luffy and besides Flash, but I'm not talking about Flash, I'm talking about current story, which Berserk, you know, a lot of that changes in Berserk. Characters go from to it's like, okay, well, we see the character progression there, right? But yeah, that's always been like my issue with Usopp, but until like actually looked at it in more depth, I guess, I noticed, I was like, oh, I like this watch, I like this show. Now I'm like, okay, let me analyze this show, and I think since then I'm like, okay, Usopp is one of the best characters in the show. Not the best, because the best is obviously Blackbeard, and then we've got Akainu. As you can probably tell, I like villains. I never like the main characters, but I do like the main characters. I just always prefer the villains, because the villains are always dope. Let's talk about this rap a little bit from Rustage. Rustage. So this one is one of the few times that he's rapped. I shouldn't say that because I don't know his channel that well. Alright, let me rephrase that. This is one of the few times that I've watched a video of his where it was... Is it the only time? Alright, this might... Damn it. This might be the only time I've watched a Rustage video where it was just him rapping. Hook. Fantastical. But the bars itself, spicy. Ooh, it's spicy. Ooh, it's getting a bit chilly, but the spice has just woken me up. It's just woken me up, because it was chilly before, but now it's so suddenly very, very spicy. Because quite frankly, first of all, he's putting shots out there as a marksman. He's putting shots out there, you know, with pinpoint aim at the SoundCloud rappers. Oof, damn. Yeah, damn, shade thrown. But also to anyone else. The references were great. They weren't like reachy, which a lot of the time I do feel like, you know, especially with like anime rap, they can be very, very reachy. Which is like, oh, I'm just gonna like try and make this and this and this and this connect. And it's like, yeah, no, I'm not sure about that, mate. You're reaching too far. Like, you know the saying, like, reach for the stars. Even if you fail, you'll still land at the moon. It's like, yeah, but now you're reaching too far. You're reaching too far. You're reaching too far. But I didn't feel like that was the case. I felt like the rhymes were very snappy. I felt like the rhymes were very on point. I felt like the rhymes were very sharp. And ultimately, the whole song, the whole video, the whole package was well delivered. That's all I will say though, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I will say. Very much enjoyed this one. As I said though as well at the beginning, please go ahead and check out Rustage's video, which I'll have linked in the description down below. And besides that, I'm about to sneeze, so I'm gonna end the video. I'm like, you know when you're like on the border of sneezing, you're like, but not quite at the part. That's basically where I'm at right now. So I'll see you all in the next one, everyone. Until then, have a nice day. You can tell I'm having a good day, and this video certainly helped as well. But I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, have a nice day. Peace out, and as always,